Hey, what's up? My name is Nelson, and today I am talking about the new Netflix original horror film, There Is Someone Inside Your House. As the countdown to graduation begins, students at Osborne High are being stalked by a maniac intent on exposing their darkest secrets to the entire town, terrorizing victims while wearing a lifelike mask of their own face. With a mysterious past of her own, Kenny and her friends must discover the killer's identity before they become the victims themselves. That's all I'm going to say. This is a spoiler-free review. First off, I want to talk about Sydney Park. She was really, really good in this movie. She plays our main character, and she does it so well. I really love what she is doing with Netflix. She has that other movie from earlier this year. Yeah. And then Theodore Pellion. I hope I'm saying his name right. But he plays kind of like the bad boy in this movie. And kind of like just the kid that's kind of an outcast. And he plays it very, very well. I love those two actors in this movie. And then what I really want to talk about is the killer's mask. Throughout this movie, the killer wears a mask of who he is killing. And I really thought that was really, really, really unique. And lately in these slasher movies, we've been getting very, bland mask. And I really thought that it was creative for them to do something like this. I liked it quite a bit. And then the kills in this movie were really, really good. They used a lot of practical effects, and I love me some practical effects. The gore was great. Obviously, the practical effects with the gore was really, really good. It really surprised me how great they were. And then there's a relationship in this movie, too, between our main character and a boy. And I don't want to say who it is. I don't want to get into spoilers, but it was really, really... I really, really liked it quite a bit. There's this scene, going back to the kills, there is this scene in a church that is the best kill in the entire movie. It is so messed up. And I really, really like that scene a lot. It's probably my favorite scene of the entire movie. And then there is, obviously, with the synopsis, there is these, secrets that come out. And really, there's a secret that a character has, and it just... I was like, whoa, when it happened, and it hits real hard when you find out what actually happened. It's funny because there's a character that's smoking a cigarette, and this girl's like, who smokes cigarettes anymore? That made me feel super old. And I was like, oh yeah, I am 27. Kids don't smoke cigarettes anymore. But I thought that was kind of funny. And something I just found out while editing this video, James Wan actually produced this and had a slight hand in this whole thing. And to be honest, I don't really see any James Wan in this at all, to be completely honest. I just thought that I would point that out because I just realized. But yeah, I just don't see any James Wan in this at all. But to be honest, this movie is kind of a mess. I personally love slasher movies, so I was very excited for this when I heard it was coming out, but this was kind of a mess. I mean, there's a lot of, just a lot of dialogue in this movie that's just it's not delivered well. And a lot of the acting is just, in general, that's why I only talked about Sydney Park, because her and maybe Theodore Pellion were probably, hopefully I'm saying his name right, were probably the best actors in this entire movie. It seemed like this was just kind of put together with this cast. I haven't seen pretty much anybody besides those two in any other movie in general. I'm not saying everybody was horrible. It just seemed like just a lot of the dialogue that was being delivered by these actors wasn't amazing. And they try this humor with this Uber driver, and for me, it just didn't work throughout this movie at all. It just, they kept, this Uber driver who was trying to, like, drive the kids around when they were drinking and stuff, it just, he kept reoccurring, and it just, the whole time, I just wasn't laughing at all. Basically, they tried a few times for a few laughs, and I just wasn't really having it. It just wasn't really working for me. And there is a scene where they kind of talk about, like, the one kid talks about, I don't want to get into it, but one kid talks about his dad having, like, Nazi memorabilia, and I just didn't feel like it was done very tastefully, and I was just like, it kind of cringed me out a little bit. And then just basically some of the characters in this, just some of their decisions throughout this movie, just some of the things that happen, like, there's a part in this movie where there's a cornfield on fire, and they drive their car out to make a path. They drive their car through it to make a path, and I was just like, and then all of a sudden all of it was out, and just, I was just like, some of the decisions, and then some of the, like, unrealistic stuff in this, I was just like, yeah, it wouldn't just be all out like that. Like, okay, now you can walk through it, and no. And just some of the things that happened in this movie, I was just like, it wouldn't happen. And then the reveal at the end, who the killer is, I kind of thought that it was this person, and that kind of like bogged the movie down for me quite a bit, and kind of lost some of the score that I had for it. But overall, it's a slasher movie. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. It was kind of a mess, but if you got Netflix, it's fun. Why not? Watch it. They were really trying to go for that Scream feel throughout this, which that's what everybody's chasing in these is Scream, because Scream is so incredible. But it came off as more like the Scream television show for me than it did for the Scream movie. But it was fun. For my score for this movie, I'm going to give it a 40%. Like I said, if you got Netflix, it's basically free. Why not? It's Halloween. Watch it. But if you like what I'm doing on this channel, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at NelsonReviews. Follow me on Letterboxd at Nelson48. Peace out.